Wow, we're nice and close. I'm just going to move it back a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day one of Finding Love. I'm so excited that you are here. It's absolutely a joy, and I'm truly blessed that each and every one of you has taken time out of your day to join me for well, something we all want, something we all enjoy, something we're all looking for. And well, it's very brave and courageous of you to decide to take the time to do it with me today. So today is day one about finding love, and I'll just give you a little bit of backstory. My name is JB, and many of you know me personally. And if you haven't met me yet, well, get ready for a ride, because JB is pretty crazy, pretty out there, pretty silly, and well, pretty frank. I won't lie about that. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to say it like it is. I don't hold back, and I really don't let you get away with much. So if you like that other kind of support system where people are sort of petting you and letting you kind of like mosey on, not for you to be here. I am, on the other hand, the kind of person that really wants to empower you and uplift you and bring you forward and push you a little bit and show you a little bit of what you're not willing to see and really inspire you to do something different, something other than what you've been doing up until now, because up until now, it seems like you haven't been getting what you want. So it's time to get exactly what it is you desire. And we're going to use the word want and desire sort of interchangeably, and I prefer desire because desire is really coming from a place of choosing it and bringing it in, whereas want is really coming from a place of I don't have it yet, so I really want it. So let's use the word want and desire, but remember, desiring love and wanting love is really the bottom line, is bringing love into your life. So let's get started. We only have 21 minutes, so we got to be busy. We got to get right to the point. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I just recently, after 4 years of being alone, celibate, and completely without any love in my life, recently was very, very blessed to meet someone so fantastic. And in the meeting of that person, it really was sort of the icing on the cake, because for many years, probably since my divorce in 2011, which I then got into another relationship and got another divorce, I really have became that expert into what is it JB needs to do to find love in her life. And that is what really this course is all going to be about. It's not about the other person. It's not about anyone out there. It's all about you. It's all about you. And so I spent the last 3 to 4 years really working as hard as possible, getting really, really serious about what it is about me that I need to do to bring love into my life, and who and how do I need to conduct myself so that love is appropriate for me. And I spent a lot of time really not wanting to be in a relationship, not looking for anyone, not even feeling love was possible for me. I feel like I had already a couple of kicks at the can, and I wasn't going to make that mistake again. And so I was really sort of no love for me. And I really went on a pilgrimage of searching out what was going to be other ways in my life that I was going to feel love, because being with a partner, being with a man had been a disaster more than one time. And so I just wasn't in a position to feel like I was going to put myself in another relationship. And so I needed to find love in other ways. And that's sort of some of the prelude of what we're going to be talking about, is how can you bring love into your life in other ways? Because what I experienced and what I'm so excited to talk about is when I got really, really dedicated to what was going to matter to me in my life and how I was going to fill it up with love in all the different areas, then love started to just blossom in me, in my life, in my career, with my kids, with my friends, with my company. And love became really important to me as a person, and really inside of me, about how I was feeling love and how I was receiving love and where I was getting love from. And so another person or a man or a partner or a husband really didn't define what love meant to me. And so we're going to start today off again, day one of finding love. We're going to talk about, does love, your idea of love, really exist for you? For a long time after my divorce, I was told by my exes, no one's going to want you. No one's going to ever want to be with you. No man is going to want to raise another man's kids. You're too much this. You're too much that. You don't have enough of this. You don't have enough of that. You should do this. You should do that. If you want to find a man, you got to change this. And it really, it really turned into debilitating belief system where I started to actually think that they were right. And yeah, I'm never going to find anyone. No man is ever going to want to be with me. No man is ever going to want to raise my kids. No man is ever going to want to put up with me. And so I really, really let that idea permeate into my mind and become a truth for me. Nobody wanted to be with me. I wasn't going to be with anyone. I was destined to be alone. No one would want to be with my kids. Just like all these stories. And so what I want to get to is the fact that I didn't even believe love was possible for me. I bought into so much of what I had been told that suddenly love became unobtainable for me, and I couldn't reach love. There was going to be no love for me. And so how possibly could love manifest in my life if I already had the belief system that love for me did not exist? And I would say things like, well, no man's ever going to want to travel the way I do. No one's ever going to live the way I do. No man is going to want to put up with my kids. Or, what about my business? How's the guy going to deal with my business or my business life or my business success? Men don't like it when women are successful. Men don't like it when women have this. Men don't, I should do this. I should change my body this way. There were just so many things that were coming up with me that unless I do this, or unless I do that, or unless I'm willing to compromise this, or unless I act this way, or unless I perform this way, or unless I put myself out this way, I'm just not going to find anyone. And that was the story I kept saying over and over. There's no one for me. No one's going to put up with me. No one's going to put up with my lifestyle. And no one's going to like what I've got to offer. Men don't like this, men don't like that, and I'm not willing to change. And so I didn't even allow love to with another person to manifest in my life because I didn't even believe it was possible. And so for you, I want to just turn the tables down and talk about you. What are the ways in your life what is a story that you tell yourself, just like I had a story that love does not exist for you, that love's not possible for you, that you can't have love in your life because of ... And we all have, one or two or three or four or five or 10 reasons why we feel like love just doesn't come to me. I'm just not lucky enough, or I just don't live in the right place, or there's no men in my town, or, there's nobody who's going to ... Like, what is the story that you have and the ideas that you have? And I guess what I want to tell you is, while we're working on just finding love, I would love for you to have your journal or a piece of paper or something to write on, because we're going to do a lot of introspection, because this is really your work and this is really your time. And the only person who has the answer to any of these questions is you. You are the only one that's going to know the answer to these questions. And so writing them down and working them through in your journal is really going to be an important part of this. In fact, I wanted to show you. Here's an example of a journal that I work with. This is called The Journey of Awesomeness. This is a journal that I created after attending A-Fest, and I put in it, a whole bunch of different really neat pages, and every page is different. There's no two pages the same in this entire book, and it's filled with quotes from people that I know, not people that are just, these famous celebrities or people that have iconic figures that have died, so long ago. It's filled with quotes from people that I know, everyday people just like you. And I use this journal every day to work on, to write things in, to track my thoughts, to work out some problems. And then I get to go back at it. And, some days I'm like, wow, that was so brilliant. And other days I'm like, wow, I can't believe I thought that way. And good thing that's shifted. So have a journal with you so you can write, and we can talk about some of the things you can record these 21 days of what's happening with you, so we can see the progress and how you're evolving and the things that you thought. And writing those things down really helps the mind work them through, because again, you're the only person that has the answer to this conundrum, this moment, this experience. And I don't want to use conundrum because, I use that facetiously, because it isn't really a conundrum. There's no conundrum. Finding love and feeling happy is something that eludes many of us, but we're here to find exactly what that is. So getting back to our story, I'd love for you to write down in your journal some of the things that you feel, some of the reasons that you have in your mind that prevent you from finding love. And really, no one has to read this. It's all yours. It's up to you. So if you could just really get honest and really be truthful about the things that you say. And if you're having trouble coming up with them, it's really easy. You just imagine you're talking to your girlfriend or to a friend, and you say, I'm really looking for someone in my life. I really wish I had this, dot, dot, dot. And the reason why I don't have love in my life, or the reason why I haven't met anyone yet is because, and it just rolls off your tongue. Like, we're so programmed, we say it so much, it's so ingrained in us, it was so like up in there that it easily comes off your tongue. Oh, the reason why I don't have this is because no man's going to want to be with me. No man's going to be able to put up with this. Like, look at me. Who's going to want to put up with that? So it's just very easy if you just take a moment and think, if you're having a conversation, what are some of the reasons why you believe that love has not found you yet? And so write them down in your journal. I have a worksheet that I'm going to email you as soon as this call is over, and I will send it to you. It looks like this. So your Finding Love worksheet. And on it says, what has happened that has stopped me from, what is it that I believe that has stopped me from having love? And you can write those out. And then what we're going to do is talk a little bit more about, so for example, me, I just said it, when I was divorced, when I got a divorce, my first husband said to me, no one's ever going to want to be with you. You're impossible. You're so demanding. No one's going to want to raise another man's kids. That was his sentence. No other man is going to want to raise another man's kids. And it really hit me at the heart. It really, really impacted me. And so that was 2011. So I wrote down that date. So my belief was, no man is ever going to want to raise my kids. And that happened in 2011. And it was said to me by my ex. And so then what was one of my other stories? You're really difficult to deal with. Came from another ex. You're really difficult to deal with. You exhaust me. You exhaust me. You're always doing something. You want so much. You're so demanding. You're so demanding. And so where did that come from? That came from 2014. So that came from that man. But interestingly enough, I can go back even farther and realize that you're so demanding, came from my father. When I was like 9, I wanted like this, the new thing was my bicycles, were the new craze was like yellow tires and yellow handle grips, and the pads on your bikes were like neon colors. And so I had like just a normal bike, and I wanted to upgrade it. I wanted yellow tires, yellow seat, yellow hand grips, and a yellow pad across the front. And I remember my dad, for my birthday, he got me the tires, but he didn't get me the hand grips and the pad. And I remember saying like, what? Yeah, well, it's cool, but it's not cool because you just got the tires. And I remember him saying, wow, you're so demanding. And it was, he was hurt. He bought me a birthday present, and it wasn't good enough for me. And I complained without saying thank you first. But so at 8 years old, 9 years old, I got that message, like, boom, there was that really emotional attachment to, you're so demanding. And so I've carried that with me on and on and on and on. So in 2014, when someone else said to me, you're so demanding, it was like, yeah, right, I've heard that before. I heard that before from someone really important. And you're right, I am demanding. And so boom, 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 write that down. And so what I want you to do is really come up with those stories and the ideas that you have that have stopped you from finding love. And then I want you to go a step further, and I want you to look at where you got that message and who it came from. So what was the date that you got that message from, and who did it come from? So let's go back to my story. So when I was 9, on my 9th birthday, I got this message from my dad that I was so demanding because I was inconsiderate to a gift that he bought me. And as a child, as a 9-year-old, I didn't have all the etiquettes, and sort of high thinking that I should have, that I should, be grateful and thankful for this gift, and, watch what I say because, I really need to consider his feelings more than mine. And at a 9-year-old level, I just didn't have that comprehension that, I should be really happy that I got, just the yellow tires, but not the rest of the bike decked out, because actually my bike looked kind of weird. Like, it was black handlebars and black grip and black seat, and then yellow tires and a black frame. And, like, being the fashion person that I love, my bike didn't look fashionable, didn't look cool. So let's just rewind back to that 9-year-old experience. Now at 37 plus 10, I can look back and see that, I was just doing what a 9-year-old does. I was just having the experience that a 9-year-old has. Like, I really wanted a cool bike, and my bike wasn't cool enough. And my dad, who was responsible, the one to make it cool, didn't make it cool enough. And so I just said something to him, and he said something back to me in his human experience, because as wonderful as we think our parents are, they've got their human stuff. And so in his human moment, he said, he was hurt by my, unappreciativeness. And he reflected back to me how he felt. And in that moment, ping, that cataclysmic moment, I took on a belief system that I was really demanding. And I've carried it with me my whole life. And so today I can look back and reframe that and realize that, that really wasn't me being demanding, that was me being 9. And if it was me being demanding, let's even say that, if it was me being demanding, is that the person I'm okay with being? Because I want to say today, at who I am right now, being demanding, if that's how the definition of demanding, I pretty much enjoy that part of my personality, because that wantingness for more, for the best, for it to look cool, for it to look great, is really what has led me to have the life I have right now. And loving certain things to look a certain way, and wanting to have things cool, and wanting to have fun, and wanting to have it fashionable, and wanting to have it, and wanting to be like having the best, is nothing to be ashamed of. Is nothing to be ashamed of, because that's what helps us get to that place where we get to live exceptional and ask for the love that we deserve. Ask for the love that we deserve. So in the mindset of demanding, which I can now reframe and be like, I wasn't demanding. I just was really, at 9 years old, knew what I wanted, knew what was important to me, knew what mattered. And so I can very quickly sort of actually change that belief into a benefit. That belief is now a benefit. So I don't find that I'm demanding. I find that I'm a person who clearly knows what I want, who clearly has an idea of what's important to me, and who is very convicted about what matters to me. And that is a great quality to have, because I don't want to be wishy-washy about, oh, I'm going to be okay with him, or yeah, if he treats me a certain way, I guess that's okay. Or if I only get a small bowl of Oliver Twist soup, I guess that's okay, because I don't want to ask for more. That's not where I'm at. And so that's a good quality. And so I just want to show you how that loop, how we can reframe that. And so for some of you, it might be, there's a massive amount of different things that you can say in your story. So what I want you to do is work through your story. What's your limiting belief? What is the idea that you have why love's not possible for you? Where did you learn it from, and what age, and who told you that? And then how can you reframe that knowing what you know today? How can you look back on that experience and take all of those beliefs that you feel stop you from finding love and turn them into positives, turn them into benefits, turn them into the things that make you amazing? And so what I really want to do is work through this workbook, and if there are some things that are stopping you from getting love, like I don't go outside my house, well, let's put it on the list and see how we can change that. What can we do right now, starting today, starting this moment, to change the things that are stopping you from finding love? So if you don't get out of the house, if you don't, get out of your house coat and leave the house, and that's stopping you from finding love, well then let's write it down, because that's the thing that we're going to change right now today. If there's anything that you know absolutely in your heart that is stopping you from finding love, I want us to write it down, and I want you to start really thinking about how can you change it today. And I don't mean change it 100%. I mean, how can you start doing the one single step, one thing, one little inch by inch move that you can get you to move through that, to move out of it. So if I don't leave the house and I don't get dressed, well, here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get dressed today. I'm going to get out of my house coat, and I'm actually going to go out of the house today, and I'm going to go to the library, or I'm going to go to the shopping mall, or I'm going to go to the coffee shop, or I'm going to just go and visit my mom, or I'm going to go and visit my friend, or I'm going to go for a walk. So just one little step, one little thing that's going to change the habit that you've been doing up until now that has prevented you from finding exactly what it is you need. And this is kind of going to also be the precedent of many of the things that is going to happen over the next 21 days, because I'm not going to just sit here and talk to you. I'm going to ask you to take action every single day to do something different than you did yesterday and all the days before that got you right to here, because I want to congratulate you. And I should have said this at the beginning. You deserve so much kudos for showing up here this morning. Something in you said, I'm ready for something different. Something in you that really deep part of you that knows you deserve more stood up, signed up, and said, I want to show up because I want something different in my life. And that is a beautiful, amazing thing. So run with that feeling, embrace that feeling, grab hold of that feeling, and keep going. I want to keep going with you with it for the next 21 days. And I want you to really, really nurture that feeling, because it took a lot of courage to show up. It took a lot of courage to say that I'm ready to find love, because love isn't easy. And we're going to work on it for the next 21 days and talk about it in a sense that it becomes something that you are in control of. I don't want to allow you to feel like love just shows up. You're in control of love. So our 21 minutes of finding love, today's work is, does love exist? How do I decide that love exists? What do I believe about love? How do I work through my limiting beliefs and the story that love doesn't exist for me? And I'll send you this page by email as soon as we're done, and you can work through it, and we will see you tomorrow. Sending love, lots of love to you. Have a great day.